Hello guys, this is Digvijay Pundir and today we are going to discuss about value converters in Xamarin Forms. So before discussing about value converters, so first of all we can discuss about that how and why and means when we use the value converter. So first of all we can discuss about why we need value converters. Okay, so for example means if we talk about the definition perspective, so we have lots of types of object is present in our languages, and means sometimes we want to convert or we want to change our object in one form to another form. Okay, so we can easily say that if you can take any kind of object and write your own logic to transform it into any other object, that we need value converters. Okay, so for example we have two types. First, let's say we have color. Second, let's say we have boolean. Okay, yes or no. So how we can decide on the behalf of yes no? For example, we need yes for green, no for red. Okay, so we pass yes and it will convert automatically to green, and if we pass no, it will automatically convert to red. Then we need value converters. Let's take an example. I have an app, and in that app I have 12-month calendar. Okay, so that 12 month we can see in a list January, February, March, and so on. Okay, so when I click on any month and I goes to that the detail of that particular month, and I want to change the background color, means for every month I want to change the background color. Okay, for let's say for January it should be yellow, for February it should be let's say white, for March it should be red. Okay, something like that. So because we have a list view, maybe we create a list view for list of month, and we will create, definitely we are not creating 12 pages to show the all the months. So we have only one page, and on the behalf of type, the month type or the name of month, we will change the content of that particular page. So as the same, we can change the content of means we can change the background color as well. Okay, so now so if we take this example, and we have the name of month, and we know which color we want to change, so we have different object. So now by using the name of month, what I need to do, I need to change the background color of that particular page. So let's say we have a stack layout, and we have a background property, background color property of that stack layout. So we what we do with the value converter, we pass that month name into background color, and then we attach a value converter which convert that month to a valid color. Okay, for example, we pass January, and that it will convert it into the yellow color. Okay, because January is not a color, and that is the different object which needs a background color. Okay, so that is the very good example of to understand that why we need value converters. Okay, so now we will go directly to our demo application, that what. So we will also see that how we can achieve the value converter, and how we can write the value converter in very simple manner. Okay, now so this is a simple app, the app page where we have two entries and I have a button. I have also created that sample app and showing the preview in my previous video as well, that how easily we can change and arrange the controls. Okay, so now okay, so first we will discuss that what is the task and what we are going to achieve over here. Okay, So what I need to achieve, so if this entry, this is the name entry, and if I am writing something into it, so first of all we run that and I will explain the task that we are going to achieve in our session. Okay, so it is running. Okay, this is the simulator. Okay, so what we are going to do, so if in my username nothing is there, so I want to disable this button. So if I write something over here, so it enable automatically. So I want to achieve that thing. Okay, so guys, if you have seen my previous video of trigger, so that thing we can also achieve with triggers. So you can also see my previous video that how we can achieve it with triggers. So we can easily use the data trigger over here on button, and we can bind the trigger with the entry, and we can pass the value because it is clearly we can see that if the length of the particular entry is 0, then we need to set a property of button that is enabled equal to false. So that is very means easy with data trigger, and we can also achieve this by value converter as well. So it is an example of value converter, so we can achieve it by both ways. So it is depend upon you that how you can achieve that. So for value converter, so we need to write down is enabled. So is enabled, okay, property. So here you can see that this is enabled property takes what, true and false, but we have entries text length. Okay, so now first we need to bind this is enabled property with our text box. So it is very simple. So we give the reference of name entry, and the path over here is, so path is text dot length. Okay, now the converter. So here we will define the name of converter. Okay, so that is the basic that how we can achieve that. So it is in curly braces. So we define the binding, and shortly we write down the converter. Let's say we can give the name to our converter is, it is a submit button. So submit validation. Okay, so for that we need to create a class that is that will define our converter. That could be submit button value converter or anything you want. Okay, so here is an we need means we have to take care of this. We need to implement the interface value value converter. Okay, and that is in Xamarin Forms. It should show over here. Okay, it is showing, and we also need to implement that interface over here. So here you can see we have two interfaces, convert and convert back. So in convert we will define our definition that what we want to achieve that. Okay, so let us give me something over there that what we want to achieve. So what we are passing the text length, and what we want to achieve, we need a boolean over here, and by using this submit validation we want to achieve that. Okay, so we also give the reference over here. So here is a local, and local is the namespace of sample login form, and it is also a sample login form namespace. So we can easily give the reference of that class. Okay, and we can suggest the name of this as we provided over here. So now it is fine. Okay, so, and it is also giving you the error, same error, type local submit value button not found. Okay, so now it would be found if it is rebuilding again. So now what we want to achieve with converter, so we are passing text length and we need true and false. So if text length is 0, so let's say var length equal to value, so it should be in integer. So we have the text length. Okay, so if length is 0, means it should be disable now, so we have to return false. Okay, else return true. I will tell you again what I am doing over here. So we have a text length, and if length is 0, means nothing in my my text box, then I return false. If false is replaced by this thing, so is enabled false, so my button is disabled. So when length is 0, then my button is disabled, and other than that I return true, so it will automatically convert to uh, in the enable state. Okay, so that is good. So that is very actually the childish way to write down this. So we can also convert into the single statement. So we can write down like this, direct a return statement, and we can say length, if length equals 0. Okay, then return we have already written the thing, so we can directly mention over here return true, else false. Okay, is that right? Okay, so if length is 0, I think it should be false. Sorry for the confusion. If length is 0, then it is disabled. If length is greater than 0, it is true. Okay, so we can also reduce like this. So we can directly write down the length, the value over here, and we can remove this ultimately. So this is good. Okay, and can we do more convenient to this? Means I think we can do that in more convenient way. So we can directly write down this, the statement. Okay, like we can directly say if it does not equal to 0. Okay, so if the value, the length does not equal to 0, okay, then it will return true. If it is 0, then it will return false. False means disable, so 0 means disable. Okay, so right now it is fine, and I think we have written everything over here as well. So we will see the output, it is running or not. It is waiting for debugger. Okay, so initially, boom, it is disabled because we didn't write anything. So if we start writing, it is enabled. Okay, if the text is 0, then it is disable again. Okay, that is a very good example and very small example of value converter. So, and one more thing, I didn't explain the convert back method over here. So convert back is basically like, for example, we need to do something with that text box on behalf of this login. Then we need to define the convert back. Okay, I will give you an example. It will take some time, so some small time. So, for example, I have a text box, and I have a checkbox over there. So I have two options. I can write down on text box yes. Okay, then automatically checkbox is means checkbox is checked. Okay, if on another way, if I write down on the text box no, then checkbox is not checked. Okay, and I can also do the vice versa. Means I can do with both controls. Means I can also check the checkbox, and it will automatically write down on the text box yes. Okay, if I uncheck the checkbox, it will automatically write down on the text box no. So here we go to the bidirectional, as you have seen in the mode of bindings. We go into the two-way binding. So on the change of first control, it reflects on second control. On the change of second control, it reflects on first control. Then we can use the convert back method over here. So that is for convert back. Okay. So this is a simple example we have seen of for value converter. We will also see in my next video the another example of value converter. So for that example, I will give you some brief uh, for that next example. So we will take an example of password. If so, it is a validation of password. So if I write down my password, like like I start typing my password, if it is more than 5 or more than 6, then it will show me a moderate, means value is moderate. If I am going beyond to 9, then it will show me excellent. So it is type of validation, and it will convert, means it will convert the label text automatically when we change the length of a particular password. Okay, so that it will see in my next video. Thank you very much for giving your time. Thanks, bye.